just down to the personal growth and the relationships we have with ourselves. Know what it's like to have no purpose and no reasoning to really live. Doubting yourself, putting self-limiting beliefs with yourself because you don't believe in yourself. I believe that you will be ready to do whatever that it is that you want to accomplish when it's time for you. A really tough thing is to overcome yourself, which is crazy to think, right? It's so hard to do the things that we need to do for ourselves to be happy or to be happy, healthy, and living. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you are living. Everyone and everything you see is only a part of your reality if you allow it. The doubts that you have, those doubts come from these realities that we create, which can be self-limiting. Reinventing yourself is not fucking easy, okay? It is a journey. Alright. Welcome back to another episode of Life, Sober, and Shit. Okay? Because we got some shit going on. There's some shit going on. There's some shit to see. Or that I see. Anyway, that's so funny because the life, sober, and shit, I initially thought of that just out of whim. I remember I was kind of in the process of creating this podcast and kind of, just planning it all out. And I remember sitting there, I'm like, what do I name this? And really, what came to my mind was really just stuff about being sober and life itself, right? And so I thought it was really fitting at the time. And I even asked, a few people about the name, and, it just resonated in that moment. But there's a revelation, you guys. I have been wanting to change the name and kind of rebrand my whole podcast and just this whole journey, really, because it kind of just evolves naturally, right? Yeah, without the realizations and insights that I see, if I wasn't sober, definitely would have, impacted my progression, or not progression at all, or not even have started this whole thing, but my journey has become more than just being sober. And, it's really just down to the personal growth and the relationships we have with ourselves and with myself for that matter. And I've learned so many things about life, about me, and just everything, my surroundings, and having a purpose. Because I know what it's like to have no purpose and no reasoning to really live, and doubting yourself, putting self-limiting beliefs with yourself because you don't believe in yourself. And I know what it's like to not have anyone, through that process. And when I have, okay, so I really wanted to talk about the highs and lows. I was talking with it to someone about this with a friend recently, and it made me realize I'm not alone in this, and I just want to talk about it because I felt like I was just going through so much that I was like, and also too, given I don't have people to talk to that I can just talk to on a regular basis. And so it's really important to find your people and of course your family and relying on your family for situations like this. But unfortunately, I just wasn't blessed with that, And I do have people that I do reach out to, but a lot of the times I have to make decisions, big decisions, and on my own without having anybody validating me or anything. And it's really scary. And, I go through highs and lows. I have some really high and good weeks where I'm like, oh my God, I got this, I got this, bitch. I'm gonna do life, and then there's weeks where it's all of a sudden it's total opposite. It's you are dragging yourself literally with shackles. You just feel like you're pushing through pavement. And I've been there. And And it sucks to just have to go through that process like alone, and I just want to make sure that I'm putting the message out there that you are not alone when you're going through this situation and it seems like hopeless and you're just so tired and you think to yourself, am I doing this all for? And you have to just remind yourself, like me, when I'm in a situation like that, I have to remind myself of like, why I did this to begin with, and believing in yourself because no one's gonna cheer for you, okay? This reinventing yourself is not fucking easy, okay? It is a journey, and there's everyone around you, like not everybody, but a lot of people mostly around you will think you're kind of delusional and will not believe in what your vision is and what your dream is. So do not expect a lot of validation from the outside because you're not going to get that, okay? And you really just have to follow yourself and believe in yourself and kind of lead yourself blindly, to be honest. And and just trusting yourself and believing in yourself, because without that, like, girl, you cannot have nothing, okay? And it's gonna be fucking scary. Like, I'm still like today, like, yeah, like I've done this consistently now for a little while, and if you know me, like commitment back before, like committing to something and finishing something is not easy for me, I will start so many projects and won't finish them. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's some sort of like symptom from ADHD or something, but I will not excuse that because I could change that, right? But those are just me limiting myself. And I knew that. I just was not ready. And I believe that you will be ready to do whatever that it is that you want to accomplish when it's time for you. And honestly, getting in your head is, I don't know, it's a really tough thing, is to overcome like yourself, which is crazy to think, right? Like, you would think you'd be the easiest person to overcome because you know what you want, you know what you don't want, you know what you need, like you would think you would know what you need, but sometimes it's so hard to do the things that we need to do for ourselves to be happy, or to be happy, healthy, and living, and it's so easy. I mean, it's so hard, but it's so much easier to just be distracted and just doing the bare minimum and just to get by and just to live and survive, you know? And there's this quote that I ran into. It was so fucking crazy. Like, get this, okay? Get this. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you are living. Period. Okay? Like, need I say more on that quote? Like, think about that really hard, you guys. Like, yes, we're all alive, we're all here, we're working every day, we're going home, eating, watching TV, and boom, doing it all over again, doing it all over again, doing it all over again. Vacationing here and there, boom. That's it. Like, that's it. And for me, like, the reinvention thing is fucking insane. Like, it is the most insane journey that you will ever go through. Like, I have had the worst lows, and the highest of highs. And all through that, I've just managed to do it all on my own. And it's so crazy because there's so much more to my life that still needs so much more attention for growth. And it's like it's constant, like it is work all the time. And it's something that you don't really want to explain. Like me, like I don't really explain anything anymore to people. Like, I don't really have to. Okay, you don't have to explain anything to anyone as long as you are living your intentions for your life, like your intentions and your purpose for your life. As long as you are walking your path, it doesn't really matter what anyone else is thinking. And here's another thought that I had too, which was so good. Okay, so think about this. Okay, this will put things in perspective, I hope, because I really thought about this and it put things to perspective, and I almost want to implement it. And I'm getting shivers right now. Like I have like my skin is like crawling because it's really revolutionary and visionary and inspiring, honestly, okay? So think about this, okay? Everyone and everything you see is only a part of your reality if you allow it. Okay, get that? Do you get that? So, whatever you see and whatever you're thinking is only part of your reality if you allow it, right? So, everyone else is existing in your reality, okay? So, everyone else is existing in your reality. So, this is why it's so revolutionary for me because I thought about it because there's so many times in my head, there's so many things going on in my head, thinking like, I know what people are thinking, or I'm assuming what people are thinking. And, it's not real. So I create these scenarios to have a meaning or understanding of situations I don't even know about, you know? And the thing is, I am creating that reality without even knowing that I'm creating it. And so it becomes me. Isn't that fucking wild? So when you have like negative thoughts that come through or invasive thoughts that come through, you think, no, that is not real, that is not attainable, that is not happening, that is non-existent. It changes everything for you. Like it changes everything for me. I have to think about it. Everybody around me is just living in my reality, right? They're living in my world, and if people are speaking about me ill will or whatever, it doesn't matter because that is their reality, not yours, right? It only becomes your reality, and you allow it to penetrate your reality because you allow it, because you allow the noise to come through. And if you think about it, yes, it's so fucking easy, you guys. Like it's so easy to obviously just allow that feeling, that emotion, that those voices, those explanations that we allow ourselves, we put ourselves to understand, but it's not real unless you make it real, unless you create it. So it's so crazy. I'm gonna give you an example, okay? So I live in a basement suite and there's like a hella construction outside, like every day, Monday to Friday in the morning, Monday to Saturday actually, because some people work on Saturdays there. Um, and I think people there are looking at me because they literally are staring at me directly. They think, oh my God, this guy, what does this guy do? And I'm assuming things like thinking, saying, oh, this guy, what is he doing? He's not working. But little do they know, I'm working in here. I'm managing my life in here. Like, this is my being. I'm only allowing that feeling and that intention because I created it myself. Do you know what I mean? So I'm allowing their energies to come through into my life when it's not permitted, when it's literally just created by me. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I just made that up. But the thing is, that thing that you make up will drive you insanity and to literally not move forward and to just not be there. That's why you're afraid, that's why we're afraid. We have self-limiting beliefs, there's just so many things. So really just changing that, like your perspective to be like, dude, these people do not know me. And I know I've talked about it before because you know you are living your life. Nobody really knows what's going on in your life, okay? Like, nobody knows what's going on in your life. There's literally 24 hours in a day. People only see you and they don't see you for who you are. Like, imagine what you're going through every day, and everyone is going through the same thing. That's why I think it's so important to just be kind to people, be kind to random strangers, help out, open the door. It takes a second. If you see something, do something. Like, just being actionable, I think, every day and living with intention is so important, because you never know what someone is going through. And negative response and negative, energies, and, when people are generally like not happy, they tend to reflect that onto other people. And honestly, when you're aware and you're strong enough to see that that's happening, you're kind of like, you're taking it back and you're like, are you okay? You know, instead of being like, you're a bitch, but being like, are you okay? Like, can I help you? Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, but that's what this purpose is for. Like, that's the message that I want to give out there, because feeling alone and stuff, like, I know what it's like, and I experience it on a daily basis, right? And I really have to navigate myself and just believing in myself, because I don't have that external validation or that support, that I would like. But I just believe it in myself, and that's my message, honestly, is to continue, okay, and just to listen to this inner voice within you, because I know it's there. And even on the low lows, girl, like, girl, those days are so hard, you just want to beat somebody's ass. But you can't. You can't, and you will not, okay? But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm getting so distracted over here. But honestly, I just feel like, we are just the creators of our reality, really. And so, whatever you allow into your reality, you're allowing it, and whatever doubts that you have, those doubts come from these realities that we create, which can be self limiting. And it's so insane. And for me, like, I am guilty of it as well. Like, even with my podcast, recreating it and stuff, and reinventing and kind of rebranding, it's a whole ordeal. It's a big deal. Actually, there's a good example, you guys. If you guys are avid listeners to me, and if you guys been listening to me, and if you guys listening to this episode, I just went ahead and signed up for buymeacoffee.com/life sober and shit. Okay, if you want to buy me a coffee and support this podcast, support the show, and continuous growth, personal growth, like, let's grow together. And it's a way for, crowdfunding, because I really want to get better equipment, because I'm running out of storage when I'm recording for you guys, and it's really sad because I have to re-record. But if you want to help a sister out and this movement of, sobriety, this awakening, this LGBTQ plus family, okay, I am here. Let's grow together, okay? Join the tribe. Go ahead and head to buymeacoffee.com/life sober and shit. But yes, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna put it down in the links below. Okay, the links below. But yeah, so something like that, just evolving, and I really appreciate it. For whoever's listening, I really appreciate it. I'd love for you to join the tribe. But just evolving and growing and believing in yourself. Like, for the buy me a coffee thing, like, I doubted myself, like, oh my god, like, why am I asking people for money and blah blah blah. Like, I was like making these doubts within myself, like, people are not gonna give you money, dude. You're talking crazy. You sound crazy. And I make these things a reality in myself, but I noticed that I was doing it, and I'm like, you fucking dumbass bitch, shut the fuck up, Like, who gives a fuck about what this one says and what this one says? And, because at the end of the day, I mentioned this to a friend of mine when we were talking, just, I love talking about life and just, like, experiences and, like, what's really going on. I love it so much. But anyway, I feel like, whoever is listening, right? Whoever will hear your voice and your content will hear your voice and your content. You don't have to explain yourself again. You don't have to. You just do what you gotta do, live with intention and, like, with purpose. And the people that will find your message will find your message, girl. Don't doubt yourself, just because I think that I'm not eloquent enough or whatever, because I'm comparing myself to other podcasters, other, motivational speakers, coaches, or whatever, life coaches, whatever. I'm, like, comparing myself, but I am me, okay? I'm so unique. My voice and my speech impediment is unique to me, and I know it sounds crazy and I sound crazy. I probably am, but we're all a little crazy, but I'm just trying to get through this life, okay? The best way that I can, honey, and growing and evolving ain't easy, but it's the only way, because what else is life for if you're just living there, like you're just existing? If that's the life that you want and you're okay with that, you do you, girl. You do you. But me and this tribe, honey, we're gonna keep growing and evolving. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there, okay? But if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everyone, thank you so much, okay? But yes, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Share your insights with me, of your own personal growth stories. I'd love to hear from you, okay? Make sure you hit that like if you like this video, this episode. And thank you guys so much again, and I will see you on the next one.